Hello and welcome back. My name is 𝙲𝚙𝚎𝚛𝚒𝚑, and this is One Piece Analysis Chapter 3, Enter Pirate Hunter Zoro. Chapter 3 begins exactly where Chapter 2 left off, with Kobe and Luffy sitting in the dinghy as they set off towards their new destination to go see the pirate hunter Zoro. They start talking about him. Roronoa is his real name, but they call him Pirate Hunter Zoro. He's like a bloodthirsty hound roaming the seas, hunting men for the bounties on their heads. They say he's a demon in human form. Kobe also says that he's a pirate hunter. Pirate hunters don't mix well with pirates, which makes a lot of sense when you just put the words together, but Luffy doesn't seem convinced. He hasn't decided if he's going to ask him to join his crew or not. If he's a good person, sure. Kobe says that he can't be a good person. He's arrested because he's bad. Some time passes and Luffy and Kobe actually make it to their destination of the marine base, and Luffy is genuinely shocked that he got them to their destination. Kobe says it's a minimum requirement for people who sail the seas. People who float around randomly are never going to become a pirate. He should at least get a navigator for his crew. Which is a good indication for us as the reader to understand that Luffy has qualities that don't make up a perfect captain. He has flaws, and we need to accept him for what he is and what he can't do. Luffy can't be a captain and a navigator. So Luffy and Kobe go to a restaurant, they sit down and have a bite to eat, and Luffy says to Kobe, "I guess this is where we part ways." Kobe is going to go off in one direction to join the Navy, while Luffy is going to continue his journey to become the king of the pirates. We get a weird scene as Luffy brings up Roronoa again, and the entire restaurant flips out about it. Kobe says that you shouldn't bring up that name around here because Zoro is a criminal. He also acknowledges that this is the base of Captain Morgan, which once again is played up for laughs as the entire restaurant scurries around the bringing up of Captain Morgan. Kobe thinks it's weird that everyone is so jumpy about the names that are being brought up. Luffy just laughs it off, but Kobe is serious. There must be something wrong if everyone is so triggered by just hearing those names. This is our first real look at the marine base on this island. Luffy tells Kobe that now's his chance, but Kobe hasn't mentally prepared himself to join the Marines. He's scared after hearing how everyone reacted to the captain's name. Luffy hops the fence, hoping that he'll be able to see Zoro from the outside, but Kobe says that because he's a prisoner, he'll probably be kept in the basement, away from the public. But, of course, Luffy's lucky, and they're keeping him out for public trial, just to show him off in public in the courtyard. We don't really know why. Kobe is terrified by the demonic presence, and we get our first look of Zoro. Kobe is terrified, being able to confirm that with the black bandana and the Haramaki sash, it really is Roronoa, that he does look so menacing up close and in person. Upon seeing him, Luffy wonders if he could just untie those ropes and set him free. Kobe says that that's a horrible idea. If you let him loose, then he could kill everyone in the entire town. I like to point out that even though at this point in the story, Kobe has come to terms with who he wants to be as a person, he still sees the world in a very black and white manner. Zoro is bad because he's imprisoned, but he's also beginning to question just how good Captain Morgan is, just upon people's reactions to both Zoro and Morgan. It's not overly played for effect, but you do get to see that Kobe is changing and acknowledging that things aren't as crystal clear as he would like them to be, or as a more childish version of Kobe would have thought. Zoro sees Luffy and Kobe and asks if they would untie him because he's already been out there for over a week and just wants to be set free. He starts bargaining with them. He says that he'll capture someone with a high bounty and give it all to them. Zoro says that he's a man of his word. Kobe continues to be overrun with his fear and his doubts, saying that as soon as he's free, he's going to kill us and run away. Luffy isn't so sure. He's overconfident in himself, and he doesn't think that Zoro would be able to kill Luffy. This is where we get introduced to Rika, who is the newest character to join the story at this point, as she goes to give Zoro some food. Kobe says that it's dangerous, that she shouldn't go down there. Even Zoro looks at her and says that she needs to get lost. He's threatening to her, and he's trying to be imposing because Zoro doesn't want her to get hurt. We're starting to see that Zoro isn't this demonic being that he has been made out to be so far with the rumors. Now we get to talk about the other character that's introduced this chapter, and arguably one of the worst villains in all of One Piece, Helmeppo, Captain Morgan's son. Koby thinks that Helmeppo must be some high-ranking naval officer, and still with his very black and white mentality, he believes that because Helmeppo has arrived, the little girl is safe from Zoro now. But we immediately learn from Zoro that he's just Captain Morgan's son. He's just the idiot living off of his father's wealth. Helmeppo takes one of the rice balls that Rika made for Zoro and tries to eat one, but immediately spits it out because there's sugar in it instead of salt. Being a young child, Rika, in her innocence, thought that the sugar would taste better in the rice ball than the salt because she likes sweet things. Helmeppo becomes completely enraged by this, stomping out the rice ball and telling Rika that she shouldn't worry. I'm sure the ants will love them. Even though we've only just met this character, I'd like to take a moment and really just hammer in on what makes Helmeppo Helmeppo. The first thing that we learn about Helmeppo is that he's a daddy's boy. He uses his position of power to threaten people, saying that he will get his father, the captain, to hurt them. Zoro says that he's nothing more than the idiot son living off of Captain Morgan's wealth. We learn that he doesn't like children. We learn that he uses his position to levy power over people who can't say no to him. And we also learn that even though he makes promises and makes deals with people, he has no intention of keeping or holding up his end of the bargain. All in all, Helmeppo is like an animated version of Draco Malfoy becomes a Lannister from Game of Thrones, and I really think that that's all you need to know about what this character is. The biggest takeaway from all of this is Helmeppo's lack of care for another person's life. Telling the Marine officer to throw Rika over the wall, or else he'll get his father involved, is probably one of the worst things that you can do to a child. Having a naval officer throw a child over the wall is probably one of the worst things that Helmeppo has done so far, and unfortunately, the officer obliges. Thankfully, Luffy is there to catch her, though. So after Helmeppo has his fun tormenting Zoro, Luffy goes over to actually talk with him. I really like this panel in particular because it's just very simple, and I guess because it's the first interaction that we get between Luffy and Zoro, and it definitely reminds me of the panel of Koby talking to Luffy about their dreams in the last chapter. Luffy tells Zoro that he's looking for people to join his crew. Zoro says that that's beneath him. Why would he want to join a pirate's crew? He brings in pirates for a living. Luffy says that there's nothing wrong with being a pirate. It's his dream. It's all he ever wanted to do. Zoro says that doing a favor by freeing him isn't enough for Luffy to set him free and allow him to join his crew. Luffy says he hasn't decided if he's going to ask Zoro to join his crew or not, considering he has such a bad reputation. Zoro just kind of shrugs it off, though. He can't go for that kind of deal because he has his own plans to deal with. Once Zoro is able to last a month being imprisoned here, he's free to follow his own dream. This is another thing that I really enjoy about One Piece, is that when people talk about the dreams that they have, they're not held in this prestigious regard of this fable, that this thing that you want to chase that seems unattainable. When people talk about their dreams in One Piece, it's tangible. Even if you don't know outright what someone's dream is, when they say that they have one, you get this air of confidence that you want to believe them, that their dream is achievable so long as they have the drive to achieve it. Luffy mentions that he wouldn't be able to last longer than a week without food, and Zoro says that's the difference between Luffy and Zoro, that Zoro has more willpower, that Luffy should go look elsewhere for a crewmate. But as Luffy's walking off, Zoro stops him, tells him to pick up the rice ball. Luffy tells Zoro that he probably shouldn't eat the rice ball, consider how caked in dirt it is. Saying, I know you're hungry, but this probably isn't edible. Zoro doesn't care, tells him to just feed it to him, and to feed it all to him. Luffy wonders if Zoro has a death wish for wanting to eat such a dirt-caked food, but Zoro tells him to just tell Rika that he loved the food, that it was delicious, that he ate it all. And so he did. Kobe's now beginning to wonder if Zoro really could be as bad as everyone says, because again, his moral compass is constantly fluctuating. He's beginning to see that not everything is as black and white as what he wants it to be, that there are things that are more complicated. Rika says that everyone in town is afraid of Zoro, but he hasn't done anything wrong. He only got arrested because of Rika. Zoro was protecting her from Helmeppo's pet wolf. Because Helmeppo never trained it, the wolf is free to run around and everyone got scared, so Zoro killed it. She continues, saying that Captain Morgan and Helmeppo are the bad ones, that they put people to death for no reason at all. That's why everyone is afraid of them. Enter Helmeppo screaming at everyone that unless they want to be jailed like Zoro, they need to fall and they need to obey him. He's openly telling people that he's going to execute Zoro in 3 days, that he's going to be made an example of. Luffy gets upset about this, saying, "You made a promise to Zoro." For Luffy, your word is what's important. If you're not going to stay true to that, what are you worth? What is your worth in the world where your actions have consequences, but your words have meaning? Helmeppo laughs at the idea, says that Zoro is just a stupid animal for even believing it. So Luffy knocks Helmeppo flat on his back. Kobe tells Luffy that he needs to calm down, but Luffy's already made up his mind. Helmeppo is scum. He deserves what's coming to him. Helmeppo says that you want to make an enemy of the Navy, do you? And the final panel of this chapter is Luffy saying that he's made his decision, that Zoro has to join his crew because Zoro is being wrongfully treated. Luffy has decided that Zoro is a good person, that Helmeppo is the problem here. Anyway, that does it for chapter 3. As always, I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in, and if you got this far in the video, please, if you liked it, leave a like. If you want to stay tuned for more, feel free to subscribe. I don't know how many times I can say it, but I really love One Piece, and I love being able to talk about it, and I hope that you enjoy this, because I want to have this discussion, and I want to be able to just keep going with something that I'm so passionate about. Until next time, have a great day, and see you around.